Sawasdee good morning, and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand, FM 88, and NBT World. It's Sunday, October 18th, and Europeมีสุรพันธ์เหล่าธารณาริศ Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, who is also head of the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, said Thailand is currently in the second stage of the roadmap to democracy, as the constitution is being drafted to solve conflicts and create stability in the country. During the weekly televised broadcast of Return Happiness to the People, the Prime Minister said the country is in the process of drafting a constitution in line with the framework laid down by the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC. The charter, he said, would meet international standards and solve accumulated problems of the country. The Prime Minister went on to say that the charter would bring stability and prosperity to the Thai society, as the reform to take place under the new constitution will cover all dimensions of development and be implemented under a 20-year strategy. The Prime Minister also stressed the importance of correct communication and accuracy in the work of the five main bodies, consisting of the NCPO, the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, the CDC, the Cabinet, and the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA. It was essential that they must have understanding towards each other and jointly lay down their targets and roles so that their coordination will be smooth and fruitful. Also, during his televised program of Returning Happiness to the People, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said Thailand is among the 140 countries joining the World Expo 2016, which has helped boost the country's image in the international arena. The event, held since May 1st until October 31st this year, is being hosted by Italy in Milan. Thailand's pavilion features a ngob, or a traditional hat that Thai farmers wear while working in the field. The architecture, which has garnered a lot of attention from visitors, symbolizes the kingdom's identity as an agricultural country ready to become the world's kitchen. Thailand was also voted as one of the top 5 exhibitors with the most distinctive architectural style. The Prime Minister thanked everyone involved for showcasing Thailand's unique identity to the world, creating confidence among foreign investors and tourists alike. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has restated the government's readiness to address the European Union's assessment of the Thai government's crackdown on illegal, unreported, and unregulated, or IUU fishing. General Prayut said he believed the EU would notice positive changes in the country's fishing industry as a result of the ongoing efforts to stem illegal fishing. The Prime Minister explained that the government had prepared assistance measures for operators affected by his campaign, which entails enforcement of the law. General Prayut said that the Cabinet has approved a budget of 230 million baht to compensate all groups of workers who have to suspend work in the industry, pending the government's restructuring of fishing activities. Prime Minister Prayut added that the government was ready to answer any questions the EU may have and to clarify its policy and plans to overhaul the country's marine fishing industry, as well as to suppress the use of forced labor on board boats at sea. A U.S. representative has stated that the U.S. will continue to offer Thailand assistance in the elimination of human trafficking, while affirming no sanctions have been imposed against the country despite its Tier 3 status. Thai Minister of Foreign Affairs Don Poramat Vinay greeted Ms. Carrie Johnstone, Acting Director of the Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons, U.S. Department of State, who paid him a courtesy call in order to discuss Thailand's ranking on the U.S. Trafficking in Persons or TIP report. Ms. Johnstone expressed appreciation for Thailand's acknowledgement of human trafficking as a serious problem and inclusion of the issue in the national agenda. The acting director also relayed the U.S. government's willingness to carry on with its provision of support for Thai authorities involved in the anti-human trafficking work. Although Thailand remains on Tier 3 in the annual TIP report, she revealed that the U.S. has not taken any disciplinary action against the country, as it still values the long-standing bilateral relations and wishes to maintain the existing mutual benefits. According to the Thai foreign minister, high-level officials from the U.S. will travel to Thailand for a discussion with various agencies tasked with tackling the human trafficking problem. The two countries are expected to step up their cooperation on the matter, with an emphasis to be placed on the prevention of irregular migration of the Rohingya people. The office of the Prime Minister claimed that national stability has improved following the administration of the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO. Spokesperson to the Prime Minister's office, Major General Sansern Keaokamnert, said that after the NCPO successfully resolved the country's political crisis, the ruling government has carried out several policies to resolve the country's endemic problems and ensure stability and prosperity in the future. Major General Sansern pointed out that the country's politics and economy have stabilized, boosting investor confidence. He added that foreign countries have also been cooperating with the Thai government. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha urged all parties to cooperate in fostering an environment of stability in order to achieve national reform. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has approved the proposal to amend the National Human Rights Commission Act in respect to the selection of commissioners. NLA member Wanlop Tangkananurat, who is the spokesman of the special committee tasked with a background check for candidates of the National Human Rights Commission, said that the legislature has approved the nomination of two candidates to sit on the commission. There are Mrs. Turnjai Ditet and Mr. Chatchai Sutikrom. Mr. Wanlop said the NLA had noted with satisfaction that 4 out of the 7 nominees to the posts are women, giving an idea that the commission could be quite a diverse body. The legislature also suggested that an amendment should be made to the National Human Rights Act 1999, particularly in the area concerning the selection of the human rights commissioners, in order to make it clearer and more in line with the intent of the law, to ensure that only knowledgeable people with relevant experience will sit on the commission. The National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, is scheduled to hold its 3rd meeting since its inception to discuss more pressing issues. Chairman of the NRSA, Thinapan Nakata, has issued an order calling the 3rd meeting of the Assembly on October 20th at Parliament. NRSA members are expected to discuss the framework of the national reform process as stipulated in Section 27 of the Provisional Constitution. Mr. Thinapan had earlier issued an order calling a meeting of the NRSA on October 19th. The order was endorsed by former Secretary General of the House of Representatives, Jare Phanprung. The new order was signed by newly appointed Secretary General of the House of Representatives, Nat Pasuk. Mr. Nat, a legal advisor to the National Legislative Assembly, has succeeded Mr. Jare, who was transferred from his post by the order of General Prayut Chan-o-cha, Prime Minister and Chief of the National Council for Peace and Order, earlier this week. The Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, will always listen to opinions of all political parties, according to its spokesman. CDC spokesman Amon Wanit Viwat said that the charter drafting team is unable to allocate time for discussion with representatives of political parties concerning the new constitution. He indicated that there were too many political parties, while the CDC has a very limited time frame for its task. However, he said that all parties could still send their opinions to the CDC through many channels, as some already passed their suggestions on to him, while others did so through the mass media. The CDC spokesman went on to say that the charter drafters will always listen to every party's opinions, no matter which channels they are sent through. He added that the CDC has started reviewing the part of the draft charter that involves the rights and freedom of the people of Thailand, which will continue to be in line with international practices without having to copy from the draft completed by Mr. Bawansak Uwano's team. Director General of the Public Relations Department, or PRD, Aphinan Jantarangsi, has visited the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat to observe the progress of its digital TV project. During his visit to the PRD office in Nakhon Si Thammarat, Mr. Aphinan stressed the need for the department to comply with government policy and improve the quality of digital media across the country. Mr. Aphinan said the purpose of his visit was to observe how the PRD office in the southern province executes department policy and expands service to target areas. He said he also discussed any operational problems with the local officials. The PRD chief reiterated that the department places great importance on providing accurate, up-to-date information to maintain its credibility. The Sports Association of Thailand, together with the Royal Automotive Association of Thailand under the Royal patronage, will organize the World Touring Car Championship, or WTCC, in Buriram Province, which is the first ultimate racing tournament in Thailand. The WTCC in Thailand is an international competition managed by Eurosport Events and certified by the FIA. This year, Thailand is chosen to be the host in the 11th circuit of 12 circuits worldwide. This is the first time that Thailand is honored to play host to this global championship. Minister of Tourism and Sports, Gopkan Wattanawarangkoon, reiterated that this event is a good opportunity for Thailand to seamlessly drive tourism and sports in order to generate more income to the country.
And it is a great opportunity for Thailand to be the host for the 11th round and for this year. And the 12th round will be at Doha. According to Mr. François from WTCC, he said that he has selected Thailand and especially Buriram to be the venue because he believes in Thailand. We are a great tourist destination, but most of all, we have the good facilities and good people to operate this. But there is a risk because this is the first time ever. The first 10 times they had done in Macau for the 11th round. So this is something very new, but he believes that we can do it. But meaning that this is going to be the showcase for Thailand and definitely for Buriram and the northeastern part of Thailand to show the ability of the Thai people, the great facility that we have for car racing in the international level, but most of all the beauty of the northeastern part of Thailand.
In addition, WTCC General Manager and Head of Eurosport Events, François Ribeiro, expressed his confidence in Thailand and the country's potential.
I choose Thailand for 3 reasons. For 3 reasons. The first one is that It's a country which is completely open to the world, with 30 million visitors per year. It's a country which has a tradition to welcome people from outside. The second reason is that Thailand is a big country for automotive. You have a lot of factories producing cars. So this is something I like, because our championship is producing mass market cars. And the third reason is the level of facilities of Buriram circuit. I think in Southeast Asia is probably the best you can find. It's an incredible circuit, and I'm sure that it will be very good racing.
For anyone who is interested, the race will take place in Buriram from October 31st to November 1st, 2015. The National Science and Technology Development Agency, or NSTDA, held talks on Thursday concerning the Nobel Prize and how to inspire the new generation to take more interest in science. Minister of Science and Technology, Pichet Durongkawerot, stated that the Nobel Prize is awarded to individuals who greatly contribute to world society through the application of their knowledge in various academic disciplines, including science and technology. Dr. Pichet said the seminar is aimed at sparking interest in science and technology among Thai youth and raising public awareness of the importance of science and technology in national development. The minister stressed that science is part of everyday life, while expressing his hope that a Thai national would receive the prestigious prize one day. NSTDA President Tawisak Go Anantagoon added that nowadays, both the government and the private sector need to apply new scientific knowledge to develop the nation in various respects. He pointed out that the new generation can use the same goal to motivate themselves in pursuing a scientific career. President Tawisak stated that interested individuals can start by adopting a scientific approach to their everyday life, constantly searching for new knowledge, and even undertaking small projects in addressing household issues. Dr. Tawisak said they can move on to challenge social and national issues as they accumulate more skills. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The fourth core value: seeking direct and indirect knowledge and education.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent, but now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Queues of more than 2 kilometers long snaked around the Myanmar embassy in Singapore on Saturday as thousands waited to cast their ballots ahead of the November 8th elections. Myanmar nationals from all walks of life waited outside the embassy since Thursday, the first of 4 days of absentee voting in Singapore. A group of residents who was helping the embassy in organizing the voters and the voting said around 22,000 people are registered to vote. Tokens have been handed out to those who are eligible, and people with these slips of paper were expected to come to the embassy between 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on the 4 days. Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi's opposition National League for Democracy party is expected to do well in the vote, a milestone in the country's transition from a military dictatorship to democracy. Moving on to the global news, migrants streaming across the Balkans reached Slovenia in the first train diverted by closure of Hungary's border with Croatia in the latest demonstration of Europe's disjointed response to the flow of people reaching its borders. The train carrying some 1,200 migrants from the eastern Croatian town of Tovarnik entered Slovenia and stopped at the station in the Slovenian village of Sredice ob Dravi, close to the Croatian border. With the station heavily guarded by police in riot gear, the migrants disembarked the train for transfer onto buses, taking them to several registration centers in Slovenia. Hungary's right-wing government recently declared its southern frontier with Croatia off-limits to migrants, blocking entry with a metal fence and razor wire, just as it did a month ago on its border with Serbia. Croatia responded to Hungary's border closure by directing migrants west to Slovenia, which said hundreds had arrived already by bus and more were on their way. The Mexican government said the world's most wanted drug boss, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, narrowly evaded security forces searching for him in the northwest of Mexico in recent days, sustaining injuries to his face and leg. Guzman, the head of the Sinaloa drug cartel, escaped from his high-security prison cell in July through a specially dug tunnel, causing a major embarrassment for Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto. In a statement, the Mexican government said it had worked with international agencies to capture Guzman, and that in recent weeks, efforts had been focused on the northwest of the country, not far from Guzman's native turf of Sinaloa state. In August, the acting head of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration said the U.S. government believed Guzman was still in Mexico. The San Diego Zoo Safari Park in San Diego, California is home to a new baby rhino. The female southern white rhino named Kianga was born on Tuesday and is now living at the park's 60-acre East Africa habitat with its mom, Casey. San Diego Zoo Safari Park senior keeper Tina Hunter said mom and baby are doing very well. It is Casey's second birth, and she is taking care of her very well. The calf is estimated to weigh around 120 pounds and will probably gain roughly 100 pounds a month for the next year, according to the zoo. When full-grown in 3 years, she will weigh between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds. Southern white rhinos are considered a near-threatened species, with about 18,000 remaining in the wild. Kianga is the 94th southern white rhino calf born at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. And that's the end of today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or simply visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for today, we're going to say goodbye with a Mexican street exhibitor highlighting fantastic creatures of myth and legend. I'm Surapal Lautaranarit. Thank you for your company and have a good day. สวัสดีครับ